YouTube is officially not making the 50 million play buttons anymore. I'm a 3D artist, and I think that's a shame, so in this video, I decided to take it upon myself to design one for them, because otherwise, they just aren't going to get one. I was astounded by how it went and how it turned out, and I think you might too. So Dude Perfect is a group of 5 guys and a panda who are the physical embodiment of videos like this. They're famous for their incredible stunts, challenges, and
they run ridiculous a while back.
Trick shots.
I need a warehouse.
I remember when this video came out so clearly because dehydration as a whole disappeared for weeks. I'm sure most of us have seen Dude Perfect's videos at some point.
One or two of them, yeah.
Definitely made YouTube a more entertaining place, so if anybody deserves an award, they absolutely do. I started this design process by doing some research. As we know, the 50 million play buttons always have a large base with a tall element on top, which is based on the logo or branding of the creator it's designed for. When we made Mr. Beast's play button, I used an aluminum base with a diamond play button tower supporting a Damascus.
Oh, I need to make a new logo.
It's an excessively difficult process, so I can understand why YouTube wants to stay as far away from that as possible, but I still think it's worth it because creators with 50 million subscribers have usually had a massive impact on the YouTube community. There are 4 awards that YouTube has officially created, and they all look very different. This one isn't even a play button, so there's lots of wiggle room for the design. I rewatched some of their videos to take notes on branding elements that they use frequently, like the panda, the logo, the color palette, and anything else that could potentially work.
I'm getting my logo later.
The biggest thing that caught my attention was this awesome intro where their logo forms out of various kinds of sporting equipment. Try for a second to envision this as a play button, and that's pretty much why it caught my attention. Their primary color palette consists of a dark gray and this neon teal, which is their main color, and functions kind of like Dream's shade of green, in that it can be used to identify them and frequently appears in their branding and apparel. So if we were to go with the traditional acrylic award design, it would probably look something like this, but unfortunately, it's not that easy, because why would we make it out of acrylic when we have Damascus steel? When I met Mr. Beast to give him the custom 50 million play button, we actually brought 4 separate items. The trophy itself, a miniature True Stone play button made by my friend's brother Warren, a box to hold it in, finally we brought a letter like the ones YouTube gives out. That's 4 items in total, so while I wouldn't make this basic acrylic version of the main award, it's not unreasonable to make a bunch of miniature versions of this that could go in the box along with the main one. Not to mention the mold we would use to make them could easily be reused to save money. And speaking of saving money, this video is partnered with everyone's favorite coupon crusader, Honey. I have used Honey.
So I'm gonna have to make a new logo later after this. So maybe I'll do that.
It has saved me
I'll make a new logo today.
if not thousands of dollars. Honey is a free online tool that scours the internet for the best promo codes to make sure you get the best price on whatever.
Today I got the meeting today.
It's actually free sale.
Oh, guess what, guys? I talked to a person who might put my YouTube channel in a magazine. That's all I have to say.
This is what I spend my time doing besides 3D abominations and taxes. But then I happened to feel the primal urge to purchase this shirt with an egg dog on it. But Honey stepped in and went,
mail it today or tomorrow, maybe I'll do it. Today or tomorrow, guys, I'm going to make a new logo for the channel. And yeah, it's a new opening.
Honey works on websites you're already using to find you the best prices and save you money. It takes less than 5 minutes to add it to your browser, and you can do that for completely free right now.
I'm thinking about making a new logo.
Seriously, go do that, but let's get back to Dude Perfect. I started the main design with a large base similar to that of the Mr. Beast play button. The base would probably be solid aluminum again and cut with a water jet. Next, I managed to turn their logo into 3D and started blocking out where the letters would go. I also decided to make the base a little more square because last time the box was so big because of the base that we barely got through security. We had to pre-board 2 planes, and only 1 airline would actually let us on board. By making a square base, the award can be a similar size, but the crate would be much smaller. One problem we had with the Mr. Beast play button was it was hard to get a good angle on it, since you're looking down on it most of the time. So for this play button, I angled the lettering up a little bit for easier viewing. The reason we put these ribbons on the Mr. Beast design is to fill up the blank space to the left of the award, otherwise it feels unbalanced with the extra mass to the right. In its current state, the Dude Perfect lettering also has an unbalanced feeling to it, even though it's perfectly centered. If we could figure out some sort of sporting equipment or on-brand object that could act as a ribbon, it would solve this problem completely, but for now, I'm just blocking it out, so I'll put a chain there for the time being. Notice how the blank space is no longer apparent just by adding something to the back right. But this would be a pretty boring award if it was just a couple letters and a chain, and we still have a lot of reference material to go off of. I started sketching random details we could add to the award.
My reward
based
would be
on an
television.
intro sequence.
My reward
For the
would be
final
television.
design, it can't be quite as complex because it could leave it feeling messy. So Society Awards is the company that makes the YouTube play buttons, and you can see that they prioritize simplicity in all of their awards. Even if there's an element that's very detailed, there's only a small number of total elements. Now this award doesn't have to be quite as simple, but you'll see what I mean. After perfecting the sketch, I got to work blocking out these shapes in 3D. This involved taking a screenshot, dumping it on the floor, and tracing it for a long time. It's the worst thing ever, but it is really cool to see it take shape at the end. The next step is thickening these shapes into 3D objects and establishing a hierarchy in the size of the shapes for that extra bit of detail. Soon the 3D blockout was all done, and I just had to add the small details now.
I like the
These
old
bits
look I
were
had with
made
the
of two pieces of
I might
glass
do that
aluminum
again. Stack
so
letters.
They would be held on tenderly by these things here. This part would probably be Damascus steel or titanium, but you usually get it in bars, not blocks, so we would have to be creative with how it's attached. After I made these details, I propped it up on the main award and started getting ready for the final details. I made a shiny aluminum material for the base and a really cool carbon fiber that reacts realistically to the sun. I made the glass parts transparent and started rounding off the sharp corners. This chain has been here with us since the beginning of the design, but unfortunately, it's time for it to be destroyed. It just doesn't fit with Dude Perfect, and the blank space is pretty much fixed by the extra details. We'll save it for I added these aluminum borders to the carbon fiber area